Welcome to Oshawa, Ontario, the campus of Durham College and Ontario Tech for the Women's OCAA Championship weekend, the second semifinal matchup between your host Durham Lords, as well as the Seneca Sting coming in, number 2 team in the country, number 1 team in the OCAA East, 10-0, undefeated on the roll. Now 11-0 after yesterday, undefeated on the regular season. Well, certainly, if there was a Vegas line on the game, Seneca probably at least 2-goal favorites. But as we saw in the first matchup, all that stuff goes out the window during championship week. The Niagara Knights had a 2-1 lead in injury time, and obviously Humber heavily favored, another top 5 team in the country, and were just seconds away from beating Humber. Humber then, at the death, scores the injury time tying goal and then won it in overtime. So anything can happen, especially here. Durham Lords, home field, home cooking, sleeping in their own beds last night. Although I mentioned Seneca, probably the same. They're just driving out to the Schwa, but some of these other teams in hotels. So I'm Chris McKee. Thanks for joining me. If you are out there on OCAA Streamland, hit me up on Twitter. Let me know how the sound is coming in, any issues, any problems. Always happy to connect and always happy to hear from you guys. So a number of OCAA All-Stars in this game. Jordan Burke, the Seneca defender, the OCAA East Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year. Jessica Ferreira, first-team All-Star. Rebecca Lee on Seneca. You also have Sage Thomas Roberts, first-team All-Star for Durham. Jamie Pye, second team. And also, we got Famale and Lamakia on Seneca, also OCAA All-Stars. So congrats to all those ladies getting the nod.
Only 1 goal against on Seneca all season.
Oh, that's it. Seneca's only allowed 1 goal all season. So Raven Edwards Dowdle, not tested too much. She was up for the task in the few opportunities they had on her Thursday, excuse me. Keep forgetting we had Friday off. I was back on the radio Friday. So just doing the game introductions. We'll be starting just shortly. Seneca ladies in black with red and white trim. Durham in their home whites with green trim. I like Durham's green and yellow uniforms better. But they wore them Thursday, so it is what it is. Captains and referee doing the handshakes. So Seneca, something I haven't seen anywhere in any level of football. Two captains armbands. And here's your Eminem, Till I Collapse, off the Eminem Show album. What is it, 2004, I'm going to say? Back when Eminem was good. Like, I love me some Eminem, but his last couple albums have been horrible. Rap God was his last decent. Talked about this a couple years ago when I did the men's national championship in 2019, which was, I think, somewhere like the first or second week in November. A foot of snow on the ground right here at Vaso Field. And so this, a lot more an enjoyable experience for all, I'm sure, for the ladies. And, of course, us here in the broadcast booth. Although the only better, they had food trucks. They had the poutine truck and everything going during that last time. Not so much this time. So we'll get to it. Sage Thomas Roberts starts things off for Jamie Pye. And we're underway. Shannon Brown. I think she was another one of the OCAA All-Stars. Second team I saw. Brown throws in. So Seneca, obviously lethal, 50 goals in the season, just one against. So if you're if you're Durham, let's try to get through the opening minutes here unscathed. Let's just get our bearings and don't allow anything to foul in the back. Seneca defender or forward a little too aggressive. Brown from Whitby. And that ball bounced off one of the Seneca players out. So no time on the clock, as you can see there. I'll try to update you as much as I can all throughout the first and second half. Give you updates as where we are as far as time in the game, because I know you can't see on the screen. Also know that kickoff is at 3 o'clock. So then when it gets to around 3:45, you should be thinking, well, it's somewhere around halftime. So it's fairly easy to keep track of at home. Jessica Ferreira, 15, with the ball at her foot. One of the All-Stars. Rebecca Lee, as good a holding midfielder I've seen in this tournament all weekend. There's Alford, and it's a good fight from Van Heswick. There's Burke, who's in the Player of the Year for the East, number 9. One of the captains, Udenberg, 21. Her fellow center back, also wearing the captain's armband. And that's a hard challenge. And that's the thing. You want to get those challenges in early, because the likelihood that a ref's going to give you a card 3 minutes in, slim and none, unless it's something egregious. Long ball in, Pye, and the keeper out. Sage Roberts had a crack at it, but also got a piece of the keeper. Raven Edwards Dowdle. So Dowdle out to get it. So Dowdle also made her League One debut this year for North Toronto, one of the best teams in Ontario. Really great program from the youth level right on up to League One. And that just booted out of bounds. I've seen too much of that. I'm not a fan of that. Look, at college level, it's one thing when you're playing the youth level. You're playing in the OCAA championships. You can't just be kicking the ball out of bounds when there's someone 3 yards behind you. I get it if you're in urgent danger, but there's players around you, because now you're giving the ball away, excuse me, deep in. So I went for a coffee in between to try and, because my throat would need it, ball bouncing around and then cleared away. And I drove to the Tim Hortons because that extra game went so long. Normally I'd have like an hour in between. Didn't have it. 17 cars in the drive-thru and about 12, 15 people in the lineup out the door. So I was like, I'm not going to get my coffee. So if my voice starts to crack, you'll know why. 4 games on Thursday. Did my regular radio shift yesterday. And so I'm struggling. Udenberg. Pye, aggressive. Lee undresses Pye. Great ball in. And a good battle. Lee deals with it comfortably. There's Bjorgum, one of the All-Stars. Down the right side, she had a great quarterfinal. She's got good pace down that right wing and a dangerous ball in. And Edwards Dowdle scoops it up. Raven, good boot past the half. And that ball runs out for a Seneca corner. 5.5 minutes gone. Neither team showing any danger around goal just yet. Winner of this game will go on to face Humber tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. Dangerous ball in, bouncing around, and looks like Durham be able to clear this out. It's all right, just get it up the pitch. Seneca throwing down the left side. Lee in for Panea. Crossed in, and Nicky Bradshaw scoops it up for Durham. Nicky, a second-year player for the Lords, trying to find Sage Thomas Roberts. Looks like a handball on Burke. Dangerous ball in, bouncing around, and Alford just clears that away. Bodies dropping all over the pitch. Still Durham ball. Sinead Capel over top of the ball. And not sure what the issue is. Something off the ball, a couple players getting into it, I think. Swung in, good ball. Pie. And it rolls out for a goal kick. So Durham Lords showing signs of life. Not looking intimidated in the slightest against the undefeated number 2 team in the country, Seneca Sting. I got to think those black unis, though, and when they're playing those late August, September games that are scorching hot, that's got to be a tough look. I mean, today it's, whatever. We're talking 10, 11 degrees out. Or Celsius, whatever. Well, ball going the other way. So good crowding, obviously. Both these teams, obviously Durham, the home team, and then Seneca, just in the east end of Toronto. So decent drive out the 401. For all the parents coming back tomorrow, use that 412. Remember, it's not a toll. It's a great way to cut through, because there's a bunch of speed cameras up Simcoe. And it's a great way to kind of get up to Taunton. And a handball, I think it was called, against Seneca. Just about the 10-minute mark, first half. And shaky free kick, looking for Alford. Just dancing through and then pushed off the ball. It was Erica Van Heswick. Cross in. Ferreira clears with her left foot. It's Hoyt. Faith Hoyt had a really good quarterfinal matchup for Seneca. Panea looking for someone, gets it to Lee. Udenberg. Ball in, dangerous. Nikki Bradshaw, she had to work for that one. It was dangerous for a while because it was starting to sail, but Bradshaw up for it. And if you're Nikki, you like that. That's a good, comfortable, like you want to be tested somewhat, but at least a bit of range, and so you can get a good look at it. And so it's a good way for a keeper to ease into the match. Shanice Alford, Jesus, down the left side. Easy for me to say. Ooh, and a push in the back from Sage. Be a Seneca ball. Jordan Burke right in front of us from Scarborough, but St. Clair High School, so must have moved to Whitby at some point. Ball in. And we got the Durham men's team back out there, which is great because they made my day on Thursday, providing some atmosphere to the game, out supporting the ladies. Awesome to see. Great ball up the wing for Bjorgum, but she can't run onto it. Everyone having a kick at each other. Alford whips that in and then headed away by Brown. Ooh. And you know what happened there? Pye got a good piece of Rebecca Lee. She wasn't too happy about it and then took out her frustration on one of the other Durham ladies. I've never done that in my life ever. I could write a book on that. Yeah. So you know what Rebecca's up to? Durham down the right side, dangerous, crossed in. Sage Thomas Roberts, into the back of the net. Sage Thomas Roberts, almost identical to her goal on Thursday, spins around on her left foot, except this time she slid it past the keeper, Edwards Dowdle, to her left. And Durham Lords, 13 minutes in, up 1-0. So that just the second goal all season that Seneca's conceded. So now, if you look at them all, they all look a little shell-shocked because they're not used to conceding goals. How do they respond? Sage Thomas Roberts, the first team OCAA All-Star, showing you why right there. Wow. It just almost identical to the goal yesterday, except she curled it yesterday top corner. This time the same spin move and slides it past the keeper, Edwards Dowdle. Seneca defense caught sleeping there, foul from behind. 1-0 Durham, let's go. I am a Durham College grad, so I will lean a little white and green for this game. The Seneca parents out there, I'll be honest and tell you. Edwards Dowdle. Also heard she's been a part of the Guyanese national squad, the U20 and the senior level. Here's Thomas Roberts again. But she's dispossessed just outside the 18-yard box. So Durham still looking dangerous. So Durham came in, 8-2-1, the number 3 team in the East. Safe to assume, I haven't looked at the schedule, but they lost to Seneca during the season because Seneca undefeated. Panea trying to connect with Lamakia, number 4. So is that Bianca Mora, 14 out there on the right side? Get that number in a sec. It's Francesca Famale down the wing. And this ball rolls out for a goal kick. That's it. Yeah, I was just about to say that. When Bradshaw gets the ball, she needs to slow things down. Durham's got the lead. So their head coach ahead of me, Alex Bianchi. That's the thing. You know, any team, if you have that striker, anything's possible. And there you see Sage Thomas Roberts just made something almost out of nothing. And now Durham out in front, 1-0. Dangerous ball through and just cleared away. "16 minutes passed. Udenberg flicks that away. Panea. It's amazing, you know, when you're calling the games, you have to be off social media. And then when you go back on, you realize, I didn't miss a damn thing. Nothing. Bunch of people ranting about nothing. And Brown a little too casual with it back there. And sorry, that's Darian Ryan, 24, over the far right. Couldn't see if it was 14 or 24. Seneca looking to swing it in. And flicked over. Shanice Alford was there, and she goes down. And they're calling a penalty? You've got to be kidding me. The ball nowhere near Alford. And he's given it. Ay, ay, ay. So Seneca is given a gift on what was never a penalty anywhere, any day. The ball was rolling away from Shanice. She kind of stumbled, and now they're calling a penalty. Martina Panea up to take the penalty, number 7. Bradshaw. Stuck to her line. It's 18 and a half minutes in. Can Seneca pull level? Panea. And Bradshaw saves it. Second chance over the nets. Nikki Bradshaw stones her. Wow. So all the momentum on Durham's side right now. The crowd absolutely loving it.
You know what that is, Chris? Ball don't lie.
That's it. So in all honesty, it was a bit of a poor penalty because she hit it right at Bradshaw. You know, you want to go low corner, high corner, but it was somewhere in between. And I'll be honest, Panea didn't look awfully confident up there taking it. She was pacing around. You know, if you're the one that steps up and takes the penalty, there's got to be a bit more confidence in that. So Seneca shaking, great ball through, Bjorgum down the right side, and Durham's after it again. Bjorgum in the box, crossed in. Thomas Roberts pushing for it, and Edwards Dowdle, excuse me, comes up and scoops that up. Another, good ball through. But Maya South clears. Swung in. So Panea had 2 cracks at it. Almost the second chance was more of a sitter. Whipped in. And in the back of the nets. Bradshaw caught looking at it. I think she thought it was going out. And now Seneca after missing the penalty, draws level in the 20th minute. Did we see who that was? Might have been Lamacchia. Yeah, Olivia Lamacchia, number 4, it looked like. So Bradshaw just kind of staring at that ball. We saw the same thing in the Niagara-Humber game just before, almost identical. So we're tied at 1. Just 21 minutes in. So Kira Barton looks like out there seeing her first action. 22. So after the huge save from Bradshaw, one gets by her. 1-1. And now we got a game. Temperatures picked up. Wow. Well, hey, thanks for joining us here in the OCAA live stream. I'm Chris McKee, your host, here from lovely Oshawa, Ontario. Hit me up on Twitter at Mr. McKee if you're out there. MRMCKEE. Let me know how we're sounding. Not sure what's going on over there. Oh, it looks like Barton switching off on the other side. And Olivia Chichia coming in, number 8. Ooh. And Chichia right away. A little chippy, that's what you want. Come in. Don't ease into the game. Let them know you're in the game. Just about to hit the 23rd minute. And cleared away by Kappel. Udenberg goes backward to Burke. And then Jordan gives it to a white jersey. And then right back at you. So that goal from Seneca certainly took the crowd out of it. So one mission accomplished for Seneca. We're a lot more quiet after the goal and the penalty save. Ooh, dangerous ball through, and then Bradshaw comes out and scoops it up. And hey, that's a yellow. You can't bump the keeper. Off Lee's knee. It's Ryan down the right side with the orange boots, but passes it to nobody. And Chichia will shield. Hey, okay, that's a yellow card. It has to be. It is, thank you. Okay, because, you know, the ball's clearly going out, and she slide tackles her from behind. Also, if you're Ryan, you don't want to take a yellow card foul 100 yards away from your goal. That's not smart football. I'm all for taking yellows on hard challenges, but not 100 yards away where there's no danger. Especially, 25 minutes in. Swung in. South off her knee. Lee looking for someone. Leaves it for Udenberg. Carly. Ball in, dangerous. Seneca has a crack at it, but no danger for Nikki Bradshaw. She scoops that up. And looks like a bit of a high foot from Chichia. Going to be a Seneca foul. Seneca ball. So the lack of caffeine in me is a real hindrance at this point. They had ball crossed in, flicked, but it's going to roll out of bounds for a Durham goal kick. They had coffee here all day yesterday. Thursday, sorry. Pie. Oh, just broke Rebecca Lee's ankles. Bjorgum. Hoyt all over. Bjorgum in the corner, trying to win at least a throw-in. Nope, goes to Seneca. So solid defense from Faith Hoyt. Faith, second-year defender from Mississauga. Stephanie Boivin out there, number 5 as well, and a foul. Bjorgum fouled. So a big opportunity here for Durham College. You got a free kick, 20 yards, about 19 yards from goal. Now, do they have a left footer is the question. I don't know if they've got anyone with a good enough left foot, because from this angle, you know, it's Bjorgum, the right footer, is going to take it. So Edwards Dowdle, should make it easier for her because it looks like they're going to try and swing it in. Raven sets up her wall. Bjorgum lines it up. Bjorgum on net. And it's in the back of the net! Erica Bjorgum stuns the keeper. Your Durham Lords up 2-1, 28 minutes in. So after allowing Seneca, Francesca Famale. I was thinking 3-3. After that first goal, somewhere 3-3, 4-3. We're nowhere near done scoring here. It's Boivin up through the middle, and she's fouled. So you wonder, frustration now maybe settling in. Seneca, they haven't had 2 goals scored against them all season. How do they respond? So Luca Sirianni, the Seneca head coach, how does he get his ladies settled and focused? There's Panea. Lamacchia, the goal scorer for Seneca, ball at her feet. And a good hard challenge by Ferreira. Ball slid through, but just too much for Famale. Swung in and cleared away. And yeah, Sage Thomas Roberts. I think Lee Moore ran into her foot than Sage fouled her. So a dangerous attempt here. Jordan Burke, about 33 yards out. I don't know if she's going to have a crack on goal. It'd be ambitious if she does, and she is. And it's in the back of the net. Bradshaw bungles it through her hands, and Jordan Burke, from 33 yards out, has tied this for Seneca. So Bradshaw's been outstanding, saving the penalty, and then lets that one slip through her hands. Unfortunate. We're tied at 2, 31 minutes in. Did I say 3-3, 4-3? I'm going to say 7-6. But hey, you know what? That's the thing. Test the keeper. See where they're at. And if you're Seneca, it's smart. 2-2. Hoyt switches it. Nicely done. Bianca Mora, the right back, 14. To Ryan, trying to get it in. Ryan already on a yellow. I would imagine they'll probably sub her out just before half. Hoyt. Durham very defensive still, just the one striker up top, everyone back, tightly bunched together. We're going to see a substitution coming in for Seneca shortly. Can't see what number it is. Her hair is blocking. So 24, look, I'm pretty good at this. 24 just getting subbed out. You can see she's on a card, so you don't want that. It's 19 coming in, Sydney Street. So Street scored a goal Thursday for Seneca. Ryan opted to go out the other side. I don't know why, because Street's got to run all the way over the other side of the pitch, so they might have just done the switch this way. Sometimes a player, though, you just kind of want to walk. Obviously, Ryan may be a little frustrated. You can see it with that challenge. She just wants a minute to herself. Get your head right. I would expect Ryan back in the second half. Just don't want to risk her getting that yellow here in the last couple minutes. Famale from distance, but looks like Maya South got in the way of that. And then Durham just clears away. So Udenberg, her touch let her down as that rolls out of bounds. If you're Durham, maybe a little urgency. Try to push the pace a little. And Brown wisely pulls away. She had Lamachia breathing down her neck. Ball rolls out, Durham goal kick. So how does Bradshaw then recover from that, right? Sometimes goalies can kind of get in their own head. I've talked about this with my son quite a bit, especially on a team like him where they're, it's a last place team in university where they're going to score. When you go play Mac and Ryerson or TMU, they're going to score on you. So you got to, it's almost like being a quarterback. When after you throw an interception, you can't be afraid to go back out there and throw the ball again because then you're done. So the same sort of mindset as the keeper. You let a goal in, you let a tough goal in. Look, it is what it is. You got to regroup. It's 2-2, 35 minutes in. If you said to Nikki before the game, would you take 2-2, 35 minutes in against Seneca? I'm sure Nikki would go, hell yeah, let's go. So that's the kind of mindset. You got to have the positive self-talk instead of being raveled because there's, a good 60 minutes left of football for her. She's got to stay in it. They're going to need her at some point today. Oops. Mentioned in the first game here, I have my goalie coaching certification with Ontario Soccer. So a little bit about what I'm talking about. Not a lot, but just a little. Substitution, Barton coming back in, 22. I think Kira scored on Thursday for Durham, pretty sure. My buddy Liam Straney, he's one of the coaches with Pickering Soccer. He messaged me and said that Kira coaches with them at Pickering Soccer as well in her spare time. I'm anti. Even though I lived in Pickering, I'm anti-Pickering. They did my son not so good growing up. You know, what they were doing was trying to collect, registration fees from as many parents as possible because they were trying to build that new dome they had down the bottom of Brock Road in Pickering. And so told us they were going to have a second team, like a B team for the rep team, all winter, train with them, and then a week before the season came to us and said, you know what, we're not actually going to have that team. We're not. And so here you are a week before the season, and you've got 15, 20 kids looking for a new team. So thumbs down, Pickering soccer. Cleared away. We took my son into Scarborough, and we ended up having the best experience ever. Played for Malvern for a couple years, Scarborough, Missouri, Olympic Flame, Wexford one year, and we ended up having a much better experience. So almost thankful Pickering soccer did us like that. Burke, as composed as a player you'll ever see. Street down the right side. And cleared away. That's Chichia. So she's come in and made an impact. You know, that's what you want. Players off the bench, get in there. Get stuck in. Make something happen. And it's hard coming off the bench, especially in a game like this. How do you match the tempo of that game when players have been out there for 20, 25 minutes? They've already got their legs in them. Because, it takes everyone a good 10 minutes, 15 minutes to get in. Dangerous cross in, ball bouncing around. And Bjorgum back and just clears that away from danger. 38 and a half minutes gone. We approach the halftime mark. Can someone get one more before half? That could have been a penalty right there. Maya South grabbed the arm of Lamakia. She's lucky right there. That was more of a penalty than the penalty that they got called. So maybe there we are. We're even now. Someone told the ref, look, that commentator's just, he's ripping you a new one.
And Pickering.
Yeah. Oh, Sydney Street getting into it. Jessica Ferreira all over. You can hear Street saying, don't touch me, bro. That's very Italian. That's stuff the Italian guys would normally say in the games. So Burke has already scored from further than where she's taken this free kick right now. So if you're Jordan, have another go on net. Burke from 30 yards this time. And this time, wisely, Bradshaw opts for the punch instead of trying to grab that. So that almost identical. So, hey, the good thing is, do we learn from our mistakes? And Nikki Bradshaw has. So tip of the cap to you. Because what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result, right? So Bradshaw apparently isn't insane. Swung in, dangerous ball, and Bradshaw out to punch that. Well done. Seneca looking for a handball shout on one of the Durham defenders. That's okay. You've already made that penalty call. Now, this is a championship game. Don't let the ref call any ticky-tacky, penalty shouts from here on in for either team, really, because, let's let the ladies on the pitch win this, not someone in teal blue and San Jose Shark blue. And Brown up the wing, Barton hustling on her bike, and a good physical challenge, but going to be Seneca ball. 41 minutes in. We haven't had too many injuries, I don't believe. A couple short, just, ladies down for a minute or two. Lee was on her left foot. Back to Hoyt. And Bradshaw goes and scoops that up. Bradshaw to half, but no one in white there. But Lee just gives it right back to them. And a dangerous ball through. Shanice Alford all over, but Nikki Bradshaw just ahead. Another looping ball, and there's Bradshaw. I think if you're Durham, you're content to just get to half, tied at 2. Do not allow one more. And there's Street all over. So the same two going at it. Street and Ferreira, they're having their own little battle. Durham trying to press, get one here before the half. 43rd minute, long ball in. Alfred heads it. And Seneca just hoofs it up. Street trying to get a handle on it. Barton, Street way too casual with that. And Barton's got no one with her. Chichia. Skates by a couple Seneca defenders, but the ball rolls out of bounds. Unlucky. So I went over to Mississauga because I couldn't get a coffee, but I at least got a little 6-inch sub just to tie my appetite. And I was chatting with the guy that owns the store, and he says, I can't get anyone to work for me. None of these students want to work. I said, you're meters from this campus. He goes, no students want to work here. So I just find that strange. Because years ago, you know, some of the jobs in some of the restaurants and stuff nearby campus always, you know, ideal for some of the kids living on residence and stuff, but not anymore. By the way, Team Mr. Sub over Subway all day. Hoyt back to the keeper. Edwards, Dowdle, Calm. Back to Hoyt. Last minute of regulation time here in the first half. See how much injury time in a second. Ball through dangerous. Lamakia cuts back and then just cleared away. I think some of Brown's teammates got to give her a shout and let her know she had time there because she put that ball back into danger when she didn't have to. So there's the communication. Let her know, hey, time. Hoyt, easy throw in. So we have hit. Right now we're 10 seconds away from hitting the 45-minute mark. So let's see what the fourth official puts up. 2 minutes. There you go. Cole, our camera guy, gets a prize. But yeah, set of steak knives. There you go. Alford. Great ball in for Street. Ball bouncing around. Street cannot untangle Maya South there. Body's flying everywhere. And yeah, whoa, so dangerous. So there's Ferreira and Street again having that battle. And now Seneca right before the half, about 24, 25 yards out. And you got to think Jordan Burke going to step up to take this. So danger here in injury time if you're Durham. So Bradshaw trying to set up this wall. You get the tallest ladies in there because that's a pretty short wall. You know, I want to see maybe Shannon Brown, some of the taller girls get in there. Maybe Bjorgum. They don't have a lot of height, Durham, now that you think, when you actually sit and look at it. But Jordan Burke, trying to swing it in. Here's Burke to Alford, and that's way wide. So it was an indirect free kick. That's why you have to take the. They didn't set that up well, Seneca. You want to see them do better than that. And I would imagine the second Bradshaw kicks this, the ref's going to blow the whistle in a sec. Bjorgum. So well done by Barton. She took the defenders away from her. Bjorgum had that middle lane. Chichia. Swing it in now. Pye have a crack. And good idea, but the ball rolls just left of Edwards Dowdle. Raven. And that'll do it. Ref blows the whistle. So at the half, ladies, as you were, we're tied at 2. So Durham got out to the opening lead, courtesy of Sage Thomas Roberts. Then Seneca gets a penalty. Nikki Bradshaw saves it. But then Jordan Burke ties it. Oh, no, it was Lamachia first to tie it a few minutes after. Then Erica Bjorgum puts Durham ahead 2-1. And then Jordan Burke from 33, 35 yards out. Bradshaw mishandled it, and the ball rolled in. And there we are. We are tied at 2. So I'm Chris McKee. Thanks for joining us here from the campus of Durham College. We're going to take a 10-minute break. We'll see you. We'll see you back for the start of the second half.
Hey, everybody ready here.
I started out coaching so my son could play, and as he moved up the ladder, I just kept on coaching. And when he graduated and went to college, I just kept on going because it was so much fun. You just figured this is a good start, and they'll get somebody else later to take it over and take it to a different height, but they never did. More and more players, the level is going up and up in the league. You got to earn everything, and the league's becoming better and better every year. One thing I've really learned to lean on the people I have. You have to get good people, and you have to let them go to work, and you have to learn to delegate and not be a micromanager. Winning the national championship was exciting because we had to beat my brother's school in the semifinals, and that was kind of rewarding. I always tell the kids what you learn on the field should be able to take you into real life. Learning to sacrifice, learning to put the team's goals ahead of yours. You guys are pulling on the highway of life, and I can see the stop sign in the distance. It's getting bigger every year, and things happen in life that you can't control, and that stop sign could be yours next week. You just never know. So give it everything you have right now. What I love most about coaching baseball is the people that I meet every day, and over the years, been to a number of weddings and a number of christenings of kids that the players have produced over the years, and so that's very rewarding. Pretty good compliment, I think. It was just that I was a good baseball guy.
Thanks so much, Sam. Thank you so much.
And had my players at heart.
Fond memories.
Check, check, check. Welcome back to Oshawa, Ontario for the second half. OCAA Women's Soccer Championship Weekend. 45 minutes to see who will be in the gold medal game against the Humber Hawks. We're tied at 2. What a first half. I mean, plenty of excitement, plenty of action. And then even for those that stuck around and watched the first game, what a first game. Overtime game, incredible. And so if you're not watching, you're missing out. Great to see. I'm Chris McKee. Thanks for joining me here on the OCAA stream. And if you are out there, hit me up on Twitter at Mr. McKee. Let me know how we're sounding, any issues. Always happy to chat. So here's Barton. But looks, an offside called on Barton, but Burke was comfortable to scoop that away. You can hear me during the week reporting on traffic for 8 different stations. TSN 1050, the afternoon rush hour drive I do, usually on 1 till 8. Classical, what am I doing? No, it's Jazz FM in Toronto. I used to do Classical. I get them confused. 97.7, it's a big rock station. Bounce 102.9, 105.7, The Move, Funny 820, the Comedy Channel, Bloomberg 1150, and I know I'm missing something. 610 CKTV. Ball rolls out of bounds. And then you can also, I have a radio show on golf on Saga 960 every Tuesday and Saturday. So if once this game's done, flick over to Saga 960. You can hear my golf show for any golf fans out there. I wish I had a soccer show instead of a golf show, but they already have one. Something to do, I guess, because Saga 960 has the radio broadcast rights for the York United, the CPL team. So they've got some show on the CPL. Edwards Dowdle gets that up to Sydney Street, but Brown just knocks that out of bounds. Got to get that Durham men's team crowd back in it. They were a lot of fun in the first half as well as on Thursday. Burke. Famale swings that in. And then Alford out on that left wing. You know, one of the things with Shanice, she's outstanding, but I think she gets, at times, gets stuck just kind of hovering way out on that left wing. I'd love to see her tuck in a bit more and get a bit more involved in the center of pitch instead of just drifting far out on the left, because when you're that good, you got to get a player that more involved. And so want to see her drift in to a bit more central position at times. Seneca with the corner. And that's not even going to go. Oh, it was short, but nodded away by Chichia. And as you were, let's try this again. And that one short again. And we're going to, well, there's a foul called against Street. Is that Ferreira again she's knocking? Because the two of them have been having some kind of battle. It is, yeah. Okay, Ferreira and Street. The two of them have been kicking each other up the park for the past 20 minutes. Good wide ball. Here's Chichia down the left side, up to Barton. And a tough run. You can see Barton going, as soon as she's seen Burke on her shoulder, sort of a grimace. And Barton with a good fight. And it's going to be Seneca ball still. Ball has escaped us. Now there comes the player. And just when the player emerges, play the Johnny Carson theme song. Da, 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 da. Good wide ball for Alford. And then dispossessed by Bjorgum. And Lamakia knocks out of bounds. Lamakia, one of the goal scorers for Seneca this afternoon. Burke, the other. And for Durham, Sage Thomas Roberts, still buried on the bench, surprisingly, if you ask me, unless she's dealing with a knock, and then also Erica Bjorgum on that free kick from about 19, 20 yards out. Tied at 2. Hit the 50-minute mark. So 5 minutes into the second half. And a good tackle. Durham playing very defensive. Everyone sitting back. They're really disciplined, tight formation. And South, but Bradshaw. South kind of misplayed that one. You could see that she was like, I don't want this to hit my arm, and let it almost brush off her side, and then dangerous. Not the best of kicks out, but works out all right. And Chichia, Street knew what she was doing. She just kind of went down. There's Burke. Third-year player. Whips that in. And a handball. I thought it was a handball, but it looks like a foul on, who's it, Boivin. Foul committed against her. High foot. Pai got away with one. It was Penia. And a good ball through. Here's a good break for Durham. Oh, and she just tripped over her own feet. And now she's having a laugh of it herself, Ferreira. She's still giggling to herself, which is funny. Oh, go for it. What are you waiting on? So Burke lost the touch on it, and then Boivin went and then hesitated. So here comes Seneca on the attack, hovering just outside the 18-yard box. And Brown's going to try to shield that. No, she just gets it up, didn't want to play that game. Don't remember. Sorry. Remember, tomorrow we have the bronze and gold medal games at noon and 3 p.m. Just want to check that just to make sure. It is? Okay, good. I don't want to roll in here and... Yeah, hey, there's 40 minutes gone and there's silence on the live stream, so... Bouncing around, but then Edwards Dowdle scoops that up, no problem. Composed. Udenberg. Ooh. Here's Lee. And I knew what she was trying to do, it just didn't work out well for her. She didn't put enough spin on it. Rolls away. So we got substitutions. Now here's Sage Thomas Roberts coming back in. Substitution with Barton. I think we'll probably see Barton before the end of the day. So 54 minutes gone. And Chichia just up the pitch. Not a lot of energy here in the early going. Got to get the crowd back in it if you're Durham. If you're Seneca, you'll take the silence. Ooh, good hard challenge. And then Rebecca Lee. See, that's got to be a yellow. Yeah, it is. No, Lee's got no argument. She's on the ground. She didn't like the challenge, and she kicked her. That's a spike. Again, you could make an argument that's a red. I mean, if you get a red for that, that's a little cheap, but that's certainly a yellow. I don't know why Lee is arguing for that. So you can see Lee runs a little hot. Whenever there's a little late challenge or a nick on her, she wants to retaliate immediately, and that one just cost her. What number is that coming in? 23, is it? 25. Heather Arnott enters the game. Jamie Pye to the bench. Long ball in. Arnott flicked it right away. Hey, welcome to the game. And Arnott dangerous immediately. Edwards Dowdle, no problem for her in the right position. Hoyt inside to Lee. So if you're Durham, you almost want to kind of keep nicking at Lee. Try to get her that red because you know she wants to retaliate. Street crosses in. Dangerous. And that was Lamacchia. Spun around with her left foot, but couldn't get any pace on the ball. Easy for Bradshaw. Here's Arnott again. Oh. Lamacchia sneaks back in and steals that. Dangerous ball in. Cleared away. Finally cleared to safety. Alford was sniffing around. Burke. And Ferreira, good attempt, but can't snake it. Nice ball down the right side. Street. Cross in. Dangerous again for Lamacchia. And just cleared away. Famale. And again, just cleared. You want to see a bit. I think she had a bit more time. She had two ladies in white just to her left, but none of them went to show for it and say, hey, give me that ball. So fatigue settling in here in the 58th minute. This is the second game in 3 days for these ladies. Lee. Ball bounced in, and Lamakia just over the net. Cleared off the line, Maya South. That was going in. Alfred headed it, and Maya South off the goal line saves the day. Huge. To quote Paris Hilton, huge. I miss the early 2000s. Life was a little bit more simple back then. Huh? What was that show she had? Paris Hilton and Lionel Richie's daughter, Nicole Richie, they had. And it was just them. Like, they would send them to go work at McDonald's, like Paris Hilton, and then they would film them, and the comedy would ensue because the two of them are just, rich, spoiled kids that have no interest in working at Burger King or whatever. It was a good show. Well, I got to watch Paris Hilton for 30 minutes every day. So. Surprisingly, you thought the two of them, it would have ended up a lot worse for them, a bit more of a disaster. You haven't heard much. They seem to be doing all right, so. They just went back to being rich and famous. Here's Durham on the counter. And too much, and Raven will come and scoop that up. Burke. And that rolls through to Bradshaw. 60th minute of action. 30 minutes away from deciding who goes to the OCAA gold medal game. Seneca last won gold in 2014. Durham in 2007. The men's team, national champs in 2019 for Durham. So the ladies certainly do. Throw in down the right side for Seneca. Durham in the white jerseys, green trim. Seneca black with red and white trim. Bjorgum gets that up. Thomas Roberts. And then Udenberg clears comfortable. So I think I'm going to go do some Durham volleyball, men's and women's, next Saturday. Do some of that. Weekend's now open. Hoyt. Stolen. Durham. And that's no need for that ball. It's too much. You got to put Sage in a spot where she can run onto it. That's a little ambitious. Tough ball. Brown read that easy. Arnott. Oh, clever. But Sydney Street pushes that away from Arnott. Knocked out by Seneca again. Durham inching down the sideline. It's coming up on the 63rd minute. And a little too casual from Boivin. She had all day, and then that's stolen. Pania. And there's Lamakia now. What's the call? Oh, stop, referee. That's nonsense. A little arm, just, it's a 50-50 ball. You can tell when the ref hasn't played themselves because they don't understand the little nuances of the game like that. Like, okay, maybe by a textbook definition, that's a foul. But in this game, at that moment, that's not the call. Let these ladies play. That first game was way more physical than this one. That ref let them play. It's a championship game, right? Things are going to be a little chippy, a little bit more heated. Every tackle a little bit more contested. You got to allow that. And that's a handball. No, Alford takes the advantage. And they knocked out of bounds. It'll be a Seneca corner. Corner in. Dangerous, bouncing around. Alford took a swing on her left foot, and then Brown just gets that away. Sage Thomas Roberts runs onto it, but solid D, Rebecca Lee. Given right back to Durham. Bjorgum, take it down the right side. Thomas Roberts, and then Jordan Burke with a solid challenge. And Burke right away has hurt herself. She jumped up and said, change me right away. She knew something was wrong. That's not good. So immediately Jordan Burke looked over to the sideline and called for a change. Now the good news is she's kind of going off all right. But, look, all the athletes, they know their bodies better than just about anyone. And so maybe that stung a little bit more immediately for Burke. But something to keep an eye on. I mean, that's the OCAA East Player of the Year and just the anchor of this team. So Courtney Iavire comes in to replace. So a huge opportunity for Durham, with perhaps Seneca's best player walking off injured. Now, the good news is they got a lot of other good players, and so not a lot of panic, but certainly not ideal for Seneca. Lamakia, she's got no one with her, has a crack at it. Bradshaw saves, ball still in play. See, this is, again, the communication. Let her know she had no one on her, but luckily escapes. That's the communication amongst Durham's back four is got to be better. Because Ferreira had all day and unnecessarily gave that right back. Lee pokes it up for Alford. Oh, and offside. Yeah, Alford knew she was offside. And so, good call, linesman. Or is it? If it's a linesman, I can't see who's. 66 and a half minutes gone here in the Schwa. I want to go check out some Oshawa Generals games. I was up at the Sioux Greyhounds game 2 weeks ago, and when I was living in North Bay, covering the North Bay Battalion, the OHL, and so I was like, you know what? I haven't been to a Gens game in 20 years. I think I'm due. Seneca on the attack, but comfortably wide. Pushed up. Street is playing a lot deeper this afternoon than she has, well, she did on Thursday anyways. Ayaviri just clears. Shannon Brown. Good ball for Arnott, but now turned over and well cleared away. Of course, what a time for Canadian soccer fans. Canada in the World Cup this November. First time since 1986. I was old enough to remember that 1986 World Cup run. I went and watched one of the qualifiers down at Varsity Stadium. We didn't get a single goal in that first World Cup, and so hopefully this time around Seneca on the attack. Ambulance sirens in the background, not coming here. I hope not. No, racing up Simcoe. 70th minute to go, or 70th minute in, 20 to go. And who's fouled? Can't see who's down. Looks like Famale. And so Seneca with a free kick. No danger for a shot on goal, but Famale will try to whip one in. It is dangerous. Alfred's still there, but taps it out of bounds. So Bradshaw and knocked out of bounds by Hoyt. Bjorgum over on the far right side scored that lovely free kick in the first half. Will we have a second overtime today? Here's Alfred. Lamacchia down in the left corner. Cross in. Chichia gets it away. Arnott down the left side. Not a lot of ladies in white running with her. Cross it in. Great ball in. And then knocked away. There's Jordan Burke back out on the pitch. She snuck on without me noticing. So Burke appears to be just fine after getting that little bit of a knock. It's over 72 minutes in. Edwards Dowdle. Looking for a great ball for Street on a dime. But Street's touch let her down. Arnott. And a great sliding tackle from Lee. Ooh, and again, the feet tangle. But Lee did a good job there of not responding to that. She got her yellow card in the first half for kicking someone in almost an identical interaction. Arnott, she had a good run. And now Barton back on the field, 22. So as we approach the 74th minute, Chichia, and not the ball you want. Alford. And that ball deflected. Not a Seneca corner. I thought it went off one of the Durham defenders. So Durham catches a break. Substitution, Pye coming back into the game. No, it's Van Heswick coming out. Excuse me. Jamie Pye back in. Van Heswick, a little ginger. She was holding the back of her right leg as she came off. Durham men's team trying to will their ladies to victory here. You know, neither team looks like they want to score. 15 minutes left. We'll see how fatigue sets in over the last quarter of the game. Lee steps in. Good little 1-2, but well read. It's like Capel cleared that away. And Barton hustling. And Pye, I don't know, she just got a card. I don't know what that was for. Maybe a previous challenge, or maybe she said something to the ref. Flicked over, but Bradshaw, no problem. Ooh, that hit Thomas Roberts in the wrist. She looked a little ginger. I don't know where the music came. Why the Chumbawamba was the music of choice out of nowhere. The DJ just started playing music. I mean, and basketball, they play music in the background, not in soccer. Lamachia weaving around. Way too much space for her. Finally, someone in white gets in front. Great ball up. And then that's where keepers are supposed to be. Edwards Dowdle way out to clear to help her teammates out. Because if she didn't, you know, Thomas Roberts is going to run onto that ball. That's why you need your keeper out playing that high. Burke looking for someone. Nobody there. Udenberg. And now Barton all over. Don't foul. Don't foul. And Udenberg did well to get out of that. Lamacchia. And ball to no one. She thought Street was there. And what's the call? Goal kick. So 78 minutes gone. 12 minutes left. Anyone. Both teams look gassed. You look over, you see Rebecca Lee bent over, hands on knees. You look at a couple of the Seneca defenders. We just had hands on hips during that break. Keeper's got to be out. What's the keeper doing? You got to get out and get that. And now we got a turnover. Pushed in. And looking for Sage, but too deep. Edwards Dowdle hasn't had much to do in this second half other than be the sweeper. Approaching that 80th minute. Last 10 minutes of the game. So the overtime rules, which we just had it, 2 15 minutes, no golden goal. And then if it's tied after that, they go to penalties. I don't think either of these teams looks physically ready for overtime. Certainly Durham playing with house money right now. You know, if you started off the afternoon telling them they'd be tied with 10 minutes left, I'm certain everyone in white would have been all right. Let's go. Whereas Seneca, certainly not up for it. Here's the break. Get it through. Oh, she couldn't slide it past Ayavere. Now here's Durham on the attack. There was a foul on her, but the ref plays the advantage. Oh, here's the Sage Thomas Roberts. She's got a clear breakaway. Is this it? And Edwards Dowdle comes out and blocks that. That was the chance for Durham. Sage looking up to the sky. Just a defensive a lapse. Everyone fell asleep in black. And that was the opportunity. But great keeping. Raven Edwards Dowdle comes out, makes herself big. And Thomas Roberts had nowhere to go. I would have liked to have seen her maybe try to push that pass, because then Raven, and a shot on net, but dealt with easily. Raven maybe's got a tripper. So you get penalty, red card. We don't know what the Seneca backup keeper is. And also, hey, coming in this late in a championship game would be a lot. Brown. And too much for Barton. Barton looks gassed. It's going to roll out. Now, the good thing is, if you're Durham, okay, push up. Keep them in. Keep them pressed in this far left corner. Famale. Long ball through. Bradshaw. And again, off her line well. Wavan in a battle with Pania. I can't believe that breakaway, that it was just too good to be true. Sage couldn't finish. There's Boivin. Thomas Roberts tries to tuck in, and then Hoyt back to defend. And now Durham with a throw in a dangerous area. Another substitution. 24 coming back in. Darian Ryan for Sydney Street. So Ryan on that yellow started the game. That's why she's been stuck on the bench for a while. But last 7 minutes here, get her back out. Also 22 for 4. So Barton looks gassed. She's out. And Shelby Kahn coming in. I think that's the first time I've called Shelby's name between the quarterfinal game and today. Let's see what Shelby's got. Shelby, first-year player from Oakville. They have her listed as a defender, but she's up playing left wing right now. Just over 5 minutes to go in the match, tied at 2, approaching extra time. Bjorgum swing. Ooh, Hoyt. Tough challenge, and now Seneca on the counter. Lamacchia has got Hoyt down the left side, gives it to her. The left back making quite a run. Swung in, dangerous ball. Lamacchia. Bradshaw, ooh! So Bradshaw didn't scoop that up cleanly, and Darian Ryan was right on top of her and just in time was able to reel that in. Big. And well done for Bradshaw to just kind of hold that ball for a minute, slow things down, let everyone catch their breath. And Bradshaw, I don't know why she didn't pick that up, but flicked on. Either way, it worked out just fine. You can see, who was that, Famale cramping up on Seneca. Substitution. Van Heswick back in. Looks like Pye back to the bench. Last 4 minutes of the match, well, of regular time anyways, for now. Dangerous ball in. Alford couldn't get it on her right foot. And now shoulder to shoulder, Alford blasts Bradshaw with the save. And cleared away. It was dangerous. That was a good no call. It was just a shoulder to shoulder thing. No foul. Obviously, Shanice a lot bigger than the Durham defender. It's going to happen. And Seneca just runs that out of bounds. Lee. Hoyt, dangerous ball in. And Bradshaw, wouldn't say comfortable, but certainly made the play. 2 minutes left in regulation. Hoyt's been outstanding all Thursday and today. Over there on left back. Bjorgum. Well, we had an injury time goal in the first semifinal. Let's see if that repeats this afternoon. And Ryan couldn't get to it. And is it a corner? No, goal kick. I heard the shouts from the Durham sideline. So the last 30 seconds of regulation right now, and then maybe have about 3-4 minutes of injury time. The fourth official right below us has got the board in his hand. Brown up front. You know what? I didn't like Thomas Roberts stood and stared at that ball. We're in desperation here. Bjorgum handball. And the buzzer goes because that's the end of regulation. It's just 2 minutes. Everyone stopped. Let's see if that comes into effect here. I'm not used to hearing buzzers on soccer fields. Famale. Ooh. Bradshaw made that comfortable. So thankfully the buzzer doesn't come into effect. Boivin and Lee with a great challenge. Now Seneca in injury time. Udenberg down the right side. Ball in. And Bradshaw scoops that up. No rebounds, no danger. Slow it down. If you're Durham, let's just get to extra time here. They all look gassed. They all need a couple minutes to regroup. Flicked ahead. Thomas Roberts. And even Durham playing so many ladies back in their own half that they look content. Alford with space. Famale. Shot on goal, but well wide. So any minute now, expect to hear that final whistle from the referee. And that was too easy. Too many, no one in white around Alford. Brown with Ryan breathing down her neck, and that'll do it. So at the end of regulation time, we're tied at 2. We'll go to overtime, mentioned a few minutes ago. So it's 2 15-minute halves, no golden goal, which means if one team scores, we still play the full 30 minutes. And then if then we're still tied, we go to penalties. So they get about a 2-minute water break here during half before we get to it again. And now you play the Chumbawamba tub thumping. There we go. Premature on the buzzer, premature on the music. So referees giving the instructions to each team's captains right below us. Just really explaining the overtime format. No break at the half. They switch ends, though. That's what he's explaining. Let me change in the OT thing, yeah. Getting snazzy with the OT one? Even, no, keep it OT, yeah. There we go, yeah. Well, there we go. And now I just seen my Liverpool lost the Leeds, for God's sakes. So thanks for joining us here on the OCAA stream. Appreciate you guys tuning in all weekend. Always a pleasure to be here. There's a dance party going on over the other sideline. Some young kids are like 3-4 years old having a go. Party broke out at the OCAA championship weekend. We got a worm? They doing the worm over there? Getting ready for the start of overtime. Seneca will start things off. Lamacchia, one of the goal scorers this afternoon. And that ball goes out of bounds. So I'm filling 3 hours of content by myself. Brown with the throw in over the other side. And now the cramping starting to settle in. Fairly predictable at this point. So substitution. So Pi will be coming back in. Shelby Kahn will walk over the other side of the sideline. And who's that limping off? 7. That's Martina Pania. Cramping. And they haven't replaced, or we are. Sydney Street is about to come in to replace. So if they're cramping now, we're going to see bodies dropping tomorrow afternoon in both games.
Battle of the benches.
Yeah, who's got the deeper bench? That's why, look, not ideal. I get why they do it. It is what it is. You got to do it. And that's foul from behind. It's got to be a yellow. So just 3 minutes gone in the opening minutes of overtime. Dangerous ball bouncing around. Anyone? Pi. But that just rolls by. Pi looking for a shout of a corner, perhaps. Stolen by Durham. Ball in. No problem. I have very clears. Dangerous ball, Bjorgum. But Hoyt, she's been so money. One of the best defenders we've seen, over the past couple days. But then on cue, she pushes that out of bounds. Wavan. Couple black jerseys behind her. Gets it out of bounds. And Lamakia tried from distance, and now she looks like she's cramping up. 4 is cramping up, yeah. You know, that's the thing coaches risk at this point. Do you put fresh legs in? But, are they up for it? Are they up for this moment? Or do you stick with your go-to? Players out there cramping up. Both teams look gassed. Player not offside. Lamakia has a go. And what a save! Nikki Bradshaw. We're sitting right there if they're going to have a corner. So, yeah, it looks like they're going to have to wait. Are they doing a drop ball? Oh, okay. I thought they were going to do it that close. It was like, really? From a yard out? Seven minutes gone. Opening half of overtime. We'll play a full 30 minutes, regardless if anyone scores. Cleared away. I got no plans tonight anyway, Saturday, so I'm fine staying and hanging out, calling some more soccer. Hope you guys are enjoying it out there as well. It's been a gut-wrenching afternoon, both games down to the wire, as you'd expect in a championship weekend. Knocked out of bounds, another corner for Seneca. So Seneca getting a push, just about everyone going into the box.
Hey, who's
And Famale on her left foot, trying to swing this in. Short, bouncing around, and Bradshaw scoops it up. I want to see Durham at least. You got to get up. There's, 10 ladies in their own half right now, just one in the other half. At some point, you got to make a go for it. At least, you talked about this the first one. Try in the first half of overtime. Try to get something, and then if nothing goes on, cool, we'll defend for the last 15 and just go to penalties. Keeper clears it away. Edwards Dowdle to half. There was a foul behind. Looks like Maya South was fouled. Who was that? Lamaki, I think, on her. I was watching the ball up the field. Just past 9 minutes gone. It's over 5 and change left in the first 15 of overtime. Long ball up. And Brown tried to head that back to the keeper. I want to see Bradshaw maybe out a little bit. Help out those defenders. Lamakia, she's going to shoot when she gets the chance. Tries it. But Durham in the way. Clear. Another corner. It's the fourth or fifth one. Extra time. Seneca not been able to capitalize yet. Swung in, bouncing around everywhere. Ooh! And Iaveri couldn't get enough on it. It just rolled past the left post. And Durham can breathe a sigh of relief. Trying to shield it out and does a good job. Just under 4 minutes left. In the first overtime half anyways. Ryan. Lamakia has a crack on it, but no problem for Bradshaw. Ball rolls out of bounds. You want to see the crowd get into it. Let's will the ladies here. This is where they need you most. 2.5 minutes to go in the half. Seneca looks more lively, certainly in the opening minutes of extra time. They look more likely to score. And another substitution, Barton coming back in for Thomas Robert. Maybe that's just for a quick breather before the end of this, because you need Sage. I mean, we're in extra time here. You got a first-team OCAA All-Star. I'd be surprised if we don't see her come back on for the start of that second overtime half. Not that Barton's not capable. You just think maybe another player might have been the sub. Pie. It's amazing how many sirens are constantly whipping up and down Simcoe. Jordan Burke scored the goal in the first half from 35 yards out. And no problem for Durham. Pie turns now. Is this the counter for Durham? Look at Bjorgum on the right side. Here's Barton through the middle. And then the keeper, clever Raven Edwards Dowdle, comes to clear that away. That was a great ball through. And what's the call? Foul against Seneca, yeah. So 30 seconds left to go in the first overtime. They don't do extra injury time in this, do they? Maybe at the end of the 30. No, yeah, they are given 1 minute injury time here. Yeah, I wasn't sure if they hold it now or use it to the end of the 30 or. Famale, Alford swung in. Dangerous ball, well left. Udenberg has a crack at it. Bradshaw's there. That was dangerous. Carly Udenberg had a good hit on that, but Bradshaw in the right position. Ooh. And here comes Seneca again. Famale into Alford. And that'll do it for the first 15 of extra time. Still tied at 2. Another 15 to go. No golden goal, so you will get the full 15. And then if we're still tied, we'll have penalty kicks. YMCA. The right away, no real intermission here. They just get right to it. Temperature dropping a little bit here in Oshawa as we approach the evening times, getting a little chillier. You can see the shadows coming over across the pitch.
Somebody's sleeping in there. Having a nap in there.
So Gianna Mustafa, 16 out there for Seneca. So they are going a little deeper into their bench right now as we get to extra time. We still haven't seen Sydney Street back after she limped off a few moments ago. Bjorgum Scored that lovely free kick in the first half. And here she is on her horse again, but Ayavere. And that's the composure you want to see. Not just put the ball out, play it into your other defender. Let's go. Now, Seneca working the ball up the field. Udenberg. Ryan. And ball rolls out. So Mustafa will come out. In Martina Pania. Lamacchia on a break. She's got Ryan with her. Ryan keeps it in. Ooh, she almost a hard foul. Here's the chance. Seneca, they cut it back. Lamacchia and out for a corner. So Seneca looking dangerous once again. Ball in, dangerous, bouncing around, and Bradshaw jumps on it. Alford got ahead on it, but not enough. And then Nikki slows things down. Depay. Bjorgum. Her pace has caused problems all weekend. That should be a corner. It isn't. Finally, Durham. No, that went off. The linesman even called a corner, and the ref blew that off and gave a goal kick. What's your linesman there for if you don't allow him to make that call is what I want to know. Just the physics of that. It makes sense that, like... You know, and at this stage, every corner, I mean, it's not when you're playing 90 minutes like, oh, well, whatever. No, we're in, extra time. Ryan trying to cut it in. Watch, no fouls. Just jockey. And good defense from Brown. Swung in. Dangerous. Alford switches to her left foot, pokes at it, and Bradshaw again up for it. Ooh, that's a hard foul. And you'll see a yellow on that one. Erica Bjorgum. Why not? That's where you take your yellows. You're 30-something yards out. Really no danger if they do get the ball, you hope. And so that's kind of where you want to take those yellows. Burke will try to whip this in. But again, Seneca looking very dangerous. Ball in. Flicked. And it's in the back of the net. Lamacchia off the free kick bounce and nods it past the keeper. It's a second for Lamacchia. And Seneca now holds a 3-2 lead with about 11 minutes to go. So do or die for Durham. Sage Thomas Roberts coming back in. Van Heswick, the defender, will go out. Durham no choice but to bring on the extra attacker. And ball will run out. Goal kick. Now, if you're Edwards Dowdle, slow this down. Like, you can even take a yellow because you just want to let it bleed, right? Milk it. If you're Seneca, defend for dear life. We got to change the goal on the thing as well. Ryan looking for number 4, poked in. Lamacchia again, and cleared away by Maya South. So just an unfortunate bounce on that last one. Just a bit of luck on Seneca's side. Got to think in the running for player of the game for sure. Can Sage Thomas Roberts pull a rabbit out of the hat? Barton. Pye looking for something. She's got Hoyt all over. That'll be a throw-in. 23 minutes gone. So 7 minutes left. Cross in. And Edwards Dowdle, no problem for her. And wisely slows things down. What's the problem? I don't know what that was. Alas, it happened, to quote Forrest Gump. Long ball to Alford. And Boivin gets in the way of it. Lee curls that in. Right idea, but just a bit too much curl on it. Anyone. Chichia and then Lee dispossesses too easily. Lee feet inside looking for Ryan, but Shannon Brown clears away. We're now 5 minutes away from the end of extra time. Dangerous ball in, but rolls a little bit too far. And then Edwards Dowdle killing more time. Alford up to Panea. Just want to win a throw in here if you're Panea, and she does. I don't know why Seneca's in a rush to take this. Yeah, let it drop. Yeah, good call. Van Heswick about to come in for the last 5, or about 4 minutes now. Yeah, 4 minutes left. Tick, tick, tick. Time not on your side if you're a Durham Lord. So 19 out. Shannon Brown, the defender. And it looks like they're obviously going to push up Van Heswick. I mean, a defensive switch with 3 minutes left. I don't understand it. Not that, not to knock anyone on any team, but that's not what's going to get a goal. Defender for defender, 3 minutes left. And not the free kick you want. Get it up. Bouncing around. Barton had a swing at it. And Rebecca Lee just went into that hard. Sage just kind of held her ground. And the foul goes against. Either way, if you're Seneca, you'll take it because seconds just ticking away. Long freaky. Yeah, I mean, if you're Seneca, just in the corner. Chachia. Ooh, good hard challenge from both ladies. Lamacchia got the worst of that. Ball through. Is this it? Thomas Roberts. Backheel it. No shout for a penalty. She was looking for it. But the foul goes the other way. Minute and a half left. Seneca making another substitution. This is one of those time-wasting moves. I also have a 20, what is that, 22? I don't have a 22 on the roster, forgive me. So, to the family and friends of 22, I tell you who it is, but it's not on the roster. Forgive me. Could be Christina Puma. I have her as 3. Two minutes of added time. So just about 3 minutes left for Durham. Anyone, someone. Knot it out. South will throw it in and then knot it out. So I think if you got to get the keeper up now. What are you waiting on? Get her up. Doesn't matter if you lose 4-2 in this game or 3. Dangerous ball in. And, Edwards Dowdle wasn't exactly clean on that. Gave a hint of hope, but scooped it up. So we've reached the full 30 now in the last 2 minutes. Seneca looks to be likely to advancing. And even you see Alford limping. She's cramping up. You got to hurry up if you're Durham here. Bjorgum. And then knocked out of bounds. This is it. So again, get the keeper up. What's Bradshaw doing back? And why isn't the Durham bench getting her up? Seconds away. Thomas Roberts. Inside ball still there. And then Udenberg away to danger. Away from danger, excuse me. Chachia. Whips it in. Good flick. This Thomas Roberts. Oh. Whip back in. Pie on her bike to try and keep that alive. And does, but unlucky. Goal kick, and that should just about do it. Seconds away from the final whistle. Everyone absolutely gassed out there. Alford down, cramping. The trainer out to help. And so basically, once this goal kick comes in, that should do it for Seneca. So barring a miracle, we're looking at a final of basically what was expected coming into the tournament. We came close to some upsets here. We'll see Humber and Seneca, the number 1 and 2 teams in the OCAA, in that final. Well, it doesn't matter if she says she's got to come off the field for a bit because she's injured. So whether, and by that point, it'll be done. No. Quick substitution. Diana Mustafa back on. Seconds away. Burke just heaves it up the field. Ref doesn't have the whistle near his mouth just yet. He checks his watch. Last gasp attempt for Durham. That's a foul. That's a yellow too. So everyone up. Keeper. What's the keeper doing? Get up. I'm trying to waiver myself. I don't know what they're doing, but whatever. It is what it is. This is the last gasp attempt. Swung in. It's dangerous. And that should do it. The ref blows the whistle. The Seneca Sting remain undefeated. And they'll go to the OCAA championship game tomorrow afternoon against the Humber Hawks. The Durham Lords, they gave it their all. They were impressive. Just luck not on their side. And they will play for the bronze medal game tomorrow against the Niagara Knights. Well, folks, thanks for allowing me into your living room or hotel room or wherever you've been watching. Much appreciated. I'm Chris McKee. Thanks for joining us. It's been a fun weekend.